viewers, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nutrition 101, where we eat our medicine. Classes in session. So I'm excited to offer to you a new series I'm beginning called Inside Equals Outside series, which basically means the outside of your body is reflection of the inside, right? So when there are a lot of things going on the outside, some ailments that you can't quite understand, you can't quite tackle, it's usually because something's going on in the inside. Be it skin, be it hair, be it visceral fat, whatever the case may be. Now we have this trifecta going on, right? The skin makeover, part 1. Okay, there are 3 steps to this skin makeover, and that's going to be what not to do, what to avoid. Part 2 is going to be what to put in your body, and part 3 is going to be what we do topically, right? So that's our trifecta, right? This is part 1, skin makeover part 1. So if you're suffering from psoriasis or hives or dermatitis or acne, this is for adults, and for teens, then you might want to pay attention here. Click and subscribe this, share it, take a minute, give it to somebody that you know might need this information. And if you're trying to get this better skin, you're trying to take women, if you're trying to get that glowing skin and you want to know how to do it naturally, this is where you want to look. Man, if you want to just knock a couple of years off your look and not look your age, the age where you start lying about it, right? You want to start looking better. This is where you want to go. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so we want to clean the inside of our body first, right? And that's what we have to tackle, because a lot of times when you have gut issues or the gut lining is compromised, we're not going to be able to absorb all the nutrients and vitamins that we're taking in anyway. So even if you have somewhat of a decent diet or you're taking vitamins, maybe 50% of that will be absorbed. So I think we all have heard the term "you are what you eat." Yes, but now it's you are what you absorb, what we digest, right? So we can't digest all our nutrients properly if we do not have a healthy gut. So we want to clean the inside or heal the leaky gut. Okay, the way we do that is reduce toxins and we reduce inflammation. Okay, so that means we got to stop bringing in the foods that create a toxic environment or create inflammation. All right, so we want to start to go on like a 2 or 3 week, or maybe even up to a month kind of a restricted regimen. So we're not doing a starvation diet. There are ways around this, but again, we'll get into that later on in one of the other segments. What we're going to eat. But let's just say we're going to go gluten-free, dairy-free. Now these two are both allergens, or right, food sensitivities. So we could even stop all food sensitivities, which I've said in the past, which are peanuts, tree nuts, eggs, dairy, gluten, soy, seafood, right? But let's just say that let's pick the best of the worst. Gluten-free, dairy-free, right? 2-3 weeks. You want to bring those on later on once you heal up and you start to see the difference. Try to introduce these back into your diet one at a time each week. Give you a chance, your body a chance to adapt to bringing them back in. Okay, so avoid bad fats and hydrogenated oils. Okay, so that's going to be any of your vegetable oils, not just vegetable oil, right? Just vegetable, any oil that comes from vegetables. That's going to be canola oil, it's going to be soybean oil, things along that nature. And those are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are not great in high numbers, so you want to stay away from that. And generally, when you go out, like fast food, they're going to be using really bad oils quality, and then when they heat it, it makes it even worse, and at high temperatures, and it just destroys any nutritional value it might have. Okay, so we're going to avoid processed foods. That's going to be your snacks, your anything packaged, your Entenmann's cookies and your cakes, Oreo cookies, which I love, right? I'll admit it's one of my weaknesses, but I just don't bring them in the house. Just if you know that's a weakness of yours, just don't bring it in the house, and it won't be there. Arm yourself with the good items, like I had said to you before in another video, and then you're going to find yourself reaching for those because you just want something, right? And there are ways to get around your sweet tooth. I like to do almond butter and celery. Works. Give it a try. Okay, processed foods. you know what that is, refined foods, right? High sugar diet, that might go along with the high processed foods. That's going to be also your snacks, but that could also be very high starchy carbs, all right? We want to try to reduce that right now, because sugar is going to attack the body pretty hard, especially if you have leaky gut issues. It gets through the gut lining, and it gets into the bloodstream, and it causes a toxic environment and inflammation, and it, you know, that comes out differently for everybody. Sometimes it comes out in skin, sometimes in hair. Everybody reacts differently to it. So no sugar, or low sugar, and definitely not through the white sugar, right? Nothing white, right? I'm going to continue to say that. I'm going to drill that in your head. No white products, no white sugar, no white flour, no pasta. If you're going to do pasta, you do whole grain pasta, or brown rice quinoa pasta, or quinoa pasta. But, you know, let's even reduce that for now. Avoid high carb diet. Again, these could probably be grouped together, these three. The high carb diet's just going to, you know, add extra calories. It's going to give you extra sugar. It's going to cause insulin spikes and all that. So you want to try to keep our insulin low and our estrogen low, which brings me to cleaning the liver. So the liver is in charge of flushing out all the toxins in our body, right? We need this. We need a healthy liver, and it's easy to get a fatty liver, and not just through alcohol, which is one of the main reasons why people get fatty livers, but we can get that through hydrogenated oils, or a high fat diet, a high bad fat diet, a processed food, and high sugars. This can create an unhealthy liver as well. So we do want that, right? So we definitely want to take steps towards cleaning that. And again, I'm going to get into another segment on what we can take to help flush out the liver, but let's just try to avoid certain foods right now to help not make it any worse. Okay, so we avoid alcohol. One of the things that alcohol does is it increases estrogen and insulin. Like I said, we don't want that, because estrogen, high levels of estrogen, is one of the reasons why your hormones are going to be off balance. You're going to hold on to extra weight into the midsection. Insulin is going to do the same thing. Okay, so these right here, as you see, that drag them over to the clean liver, right? The same items that we want to use, well, the same things to avoid to heal the leaky gut, we're also going to clean the liver. They kind of go hand in hand. So you want to just always clean one with the other. It's almost no point to clean one without the other. So when people go on cleanses, a lot of times they might just clean the liver and not the gut, or vice versa. It's just silly, and these juice cleanses are ridiculous. But, you know, to each your own. But I'm just going to show you a healthy, efficient way to clean your body out. All right, so all of these say feeds yeast, right? So believe it or not, we can get yeast infections in our stomach, right? It's called candida. It's basically yeast buildup. So what happens with yeast and sugar get together is it ferments, right? That's how we make beer and wine and things like that, right? That's happening in your stomach. So we get this yeast buildup, and then we feed it with sugar and these processed foods, and milk actually can keep that moist and, you know, keep that candida going. But we could dry that out. But again, we'll get into a little bit of that. We'll get a little bit into that on one of the other segments. For now, we're just talking about what to avoid. This is just going to be part one of our skin makeover. So here we are. This is the avoidance. We're going to move on to part two. Thank you for watching. And here at Nutrition 101, we try to take away all the jargon and make nutrition make sense to you, making it easy and fun, and hopefully something you're going to want to follow and implement into your regimen. Okay, thank you again for watching. My name is Charles. See you soon. Class dismissed.